When I see the word opera, I'm thinking... So, will we get the same experience with the Opera 5? Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my experience on another TWS by Soundpeats, the Soundpeats Opera 5. Before we begin, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Soundpeats for providing this in exchange for my honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own, and if you've been enjoying the content, a sub to the channel and a like to the video will be amazing. Soundpeats was also generous enough to provide this coupon code for anyone interested in purchasing this product, and this code will expire at the end of August. With that all out of the way, let's talk accessories. As with all other Soundpeats experience I've shared previously, is no different on the Opera 5. You get a charging cable, some interchangeable ear tips, and of course the case with the earbuds themselves. The case is much bulkier compared to the other two TWS I've talked about, and the charging port being on the side of the case instead of under the case feels a little out of place. Opening the case itself, you'll be greeted with the earbuds and they look really nice, design wise. You've got the usual Soundpeats logo as the faceplate with the gold rings with some wordings on it, which no one will ever be able to read it, but they are quite chunky in size. Imagine the Engine 4 or the Gravastar, but two of them merged together to form one earbud, which I understand is to house a dynamic driver and two balanced armatures, which for an earbud is a feat at its time, but it does raise some concerns in terms of fit. Let's explore. For fit and comfort, unfortunately for me personally, I don't find the Opera 5 comfortable to wear. I've worn some really chunky IEMs, but the Opera 5, due to the nature of its design, has parts of it putting pressure on my ears and I'm unable to fit it deeper due to that. This aspect is where I put a caution to whoever is interested in purchasing the Opera 5. As for its functions and features, it has an IPX4 rating, as with all other Soundpeats devices so far I've talked about, which means no pool dunking but okay for light sweating. It claims to have a 9 hours on a single charge with a total of 33 hours of playback with the case, but with ANC on or off, the battery life may vary. Oh yes, it has active noise cancelling, which is great especially when you're commuting. It supports LDAC and has 4 mics, and here's the test. This is the Soundpeats Opera 5 mic test, and this is how you would sound when your partner is listening to you. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. It also comes with touch control functions, which I'll leave a link in the description on the full instructions, but it's essentially the same with the Capsule 3 Pro. So like double tap for pause and play and so on. You can check out my Capsule 3 Pro video if you'd like to learn more. As with all other Soundpeats devices, you can download the app so you can control other functions of the earbuds as well as the EQ settings and tune it to your liking, but don't expect the sound to change drastically from its original setting. Let's talk about the sound, and I'm sharing my experience of the sound based on the classic setting. For bass, there's sufficient punch and slam in the bass, but it doesn't necessarily hit very hard. I don't think this will satisfy bass hits anytime soon, but you can always EQ it to have a little bit more, but something to note is that the bass is a bit on the boomy side. Imagine a big ball but a little hollow inside. That's what it feels like listening to the bass on the Opera 5. It's missing a bit of that fullness, roundness of the note. There's still sufficient rumble in the deep end, and all in all is enough to accompany your track, but you might need to tune it a bit to bring up that engagement. For mid-range, this is an all-in-one plain kind of presentation where the vocals and the background music are brought to the spotlight. However, the position of the sound helps with not making everything too crowded, more on that later. So if you're into vocal focused tracks, then I don't think the Opera 5 will be the best option for you. But if you like your presentation as a whole, then Opera 5 delivers. For the treble, there's enough highs in the treble to cut through the bass. In fact, I bring the bass up a little bit to match the sharpness of the treble on the Opera 5, or bring the treble down because at classic setting, I'd actually put a caution for treble sensitive people because it can sound a bit harsh or piercing on some tracks, and female vocals can appear sounding a bit thin as well. However, trumpets have that sharp attack to their notes, though I feel it's a little bit exaggerated, which can make it sound a bit unnatural. However, I think treble heads might be happy with the amount of treble on this. For technicalities, imaging on the left and right is good, especially at this price range. Thanks to the higher frequencies, it brings out the details in the track, not only the macro but micro details as well. Hi-hats, claps, snares, they are audible within the track. Soundstage is about average, where it's not too wide nor is it too close to you. It still struggles a little bit on very busy tracks like anime tracks, but there's enough separation between sounds that it doesn't sound mashed together. So to sum it all up, I know I may sound a little bit critical, however this is considering that the Opera 5 had a lot of positive feedback on its sound performance, and I came into this experience with a bit high of an expectation, and to a certain extent it delivered because I was evaluating it from the perspective of a higher priced earbud, and for $99 it actually offers a lot. But unfortunately the biggest limitation for me is the size, and compared to the comfort and convenience of my daily driver, the Capsule 3 Pro, even if the Opera 5 has a very slight advantage in the sound, but I still don't see the Opera 5 replacing that spot for the time being, at least for me anyways. However, as always, this is based on one man's opinion and I'm curious to know your thoughts. Do you own the Opera 5 and what are your experiences like? Best TWS or is there one better? Comment below, let me know, and once again thank you to SoundPeats for this opportunity and to all of you for watching. Until the next experience, take care and happy listening.